It's witchcraft.
Hi, and welcome to the Solarium, Chelle and Layla's sun-drenched, herb-filled place of relaxation where they can put their basomes up, their pointy hats down, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the latest books, spells, and magical things in the witchcraft world today. Enjoying the sunshine here, I'm Layla.
And I'm Chelle, and this is a super special episode. This is a grab a cup of tea, hunker down, because this one's a beauty. I've looked forward to this one for a while now.
Me too. It's been very hard keeping this a secret from you guys because we are so excited.
So excited. What are you talking about? We have been fangirling for like weeks. Like for all you guys out there, just think of the ultimate fangirl experience, and that's what Layla and I have been going through.
Exactly. So I just have some chamomile tea here with a little bit of cream and honey. And I also have a nice joint with my favorite gelato mixed with some rose petals. I'm keeping it simple because I'm trying to keep calm here. No pressure.
I went store-bought today. Don't judge me, people. Tetley. I have been drinking Tetley tea since I was probably 3 years old. I'd swipe it from my mother.
Sun tea every summer.
I know. Tetley has come out with what they call the British blend.
Ooh, that sounds right up your alley.
You know damn well that's right up my alley. So it's like some weird, not really an Earl Grey, but basically it's Tetley's British blend that's similar to an Earl Grey. I'm rocking that shit out tonight. No fucks given. It ain't herbal, it ain't witchy, but it is my tea and I love, love, love it.
Well, while we sip on our tea and I smoke on this delicious rose petal joint,
Tell them, tell them, tell them.
Chelle and I are old school from day one, huge motherfucking fans of Survivor, the television show.
I feel like if I was a singer, I would do their little intro. Doo doo. The little,
Oh,
the
wow, you
intro to
hit that. That
Survivor.
was nice.
Right.
You did good there.
I remember in just a little backstory, I had a wee little apartment back in season one, episode one, Days of Survivor. And Layla would come to my apartment every week. We'd have a Survivor watch party. And like we were hardcore. We were
Oh,
hardcore
yeah.
fans.
I mean, there was a time when I was going online, scouring, trying to like spoil every episode. We were into it for a minute.
You'd send me messages. You'd be like, I got a spoiler. Do you want to hear it? And sometimes I'd say yes, sometimes I'd say no. But yeah, we
It
were
was fun.
we were in it.
We were in it. We had plans to be the first witches on Survivor. Didn't happen.
How does that relate to today's solarium, Layla? Do tell.
Well, not just because we're super Survivor fans, but this past season of Survivor, season 45, did actually feature the very first witch on Survivor. And I fell in love.
Even though it wasn't us.
Straight love.
Now, I love this person. This person is so vibrant and full of energy and such a positive force. But I'm still jelly that it wasn't us.
Me too, but I absolutely loved watching her. We are, of course, talking about Kendra Ruthless from Survivor 45. And
Or better known as the official Survivor astrologist.
Oh, yeah. She's got an amazing new business called Happy to Be Here that we'll talk about later. But before we get too far into what she's doing now, let's welcome to Back on the Broomsticks Solarium, Kendra. For this episode, Chelle and I are thrilled to welcome to the show a witch who is also a world traveler, a tarot reader, and not just an astrologer, but she was actually called the astrologer of the hit TV show Survivor by Jeff Probst for the most recent Survivor season 45 that ended this past December. She was my favorite contestant. I was rooting for you, girl. She's an all-around badass, Kendra Ruth. Welcome to the show, Kendra.
Hello.
Welcome, Kendra.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I am so happy to be here with y'all. Especially as I don't want to say this for sure, but I think I might be the first out witch to be on Survivor.
I think you are.
I think
Yeah.
you are, yeah.
Let's go.
We've been fans since season 1. We used to have
Episode
watch-
1. Yep.
Yep. We used to have watch parties at her apartment, and we would plan on
We
how to
did.
get on the show. We were so thrilled to see a witch on the show. When I saw you come up, I said to my daughter, I'm like, she's a witch. I know it. And you're like, hey, clocking my witchy vibe. I was so happy. And you just continued to thrill us for the entire season. So thank you for that.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for saying that. That was truly, I mean, the whole experience is the greatest experience of my life. But yeah, it was really funny because now I think with season 46 coming up, not that we want to talk about them too much because like we're still talking about 45 because the house and half figure. It's still about me.
Yes.
No, but it's like all these, they're like, oh, like I'm a Leo, or there's like a guy who's like really into astrology, and like online, it's kind of gotten traction of like the Kendra effect, which like, if I'm known as the survivor astrology lady, like I think I'm doing something right in life. I'm like, this is all I've ever wanted. Amazing.
I was loving that for you. When Jeff said that at the season finale and you just jumped right up and owned that, you were just like, yes, I am the astrologer. I loved that for you. I thought that was such a cool moment. Now, at that, you had said that you called the season showmance between Dee and Austin, that you had seen that before it even happened. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So I am like pretty in tune to like other people's emotions, their feelings, whatever. And like, I'm a Libra. I know how to like pick up on this shit, especially like drama. And so I remember when we were at camp and Austin was like talking about Dee, and I can kind of see a sparkle in his eyes. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to like obviously say anything about it. But then merge happened. And, you know, at that time, it wasn't really shown, but I was working with the Bello girls kind of as a potential alliance moving forward. I was really looking to Austin, Drew, and Emily from New Bello. And we were working together, you know, to the extent that I believe we were working together. I think a little bit more with me and Emily, we were working together. But I would say that I remember pulling Drew and Emily to the side almost daily, being like, are we worried about this Dee and Austin thing? They're like, Kendra, what do you mean this Dee and Austin thing? I'm like, what do you mean this Dee and Austin thing? I could really just tell that they had a vibe and that they like probably like, and they're both beautiful. I'm like, how do these two beautiful
Everyone was beautiful this season.
Everyone's beautiful. Oh my God, for sure. Such a hot cast. But like, how do these two single people, you know, not on the same track?
You could see the energy flowing between them for sure.
Absolutely. It was like so obvious to me. So when people like weren't really believing me or like being like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, they're going to take each other to the end. I remember saying that to Drew and Emily. And
you were so right. You called that one right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, Kendra, I have a question. You had this vision or premonition, what have you, of the typical on-show romance. Did you do any sort of divination or any sort of magic prior to going on Survivor, other than having this vision of this showman?
Oh, really great question. Really great question. So I I'm super into astrocartography. And so I realized that my Jupiter MC line was going right through Fiji. And I was like, oh my gosh, what a amazing opportunity, especially to have an opportunity like this where I'm on stage, I'm going to be broadcast, like all that MC Jupiterian energy. And I'm a Jupiter ruled person myself. Mm-hmm. And so I just did a lot of Jupiter. I just was calling in that abundance and like knew while I was there also to like lean into that Jupiter energy. Cause like I definitely have a different side of myself that I didn't really lean into on the show so much, which I call like, if I ever go back on any type of show, I'm going back to my villain era. Like,
Oh, yes, that would be fun.
But I really wanted to lean into like this Jupiter happy-go-lucky fun energy also to like seem less intimidating.
Yes.
And so, yeah, just working with Jupiter, working with a lot of like rosemary, like sun, Jupiter herbs, and just a lot of manifestation. I am a pretty quick manifester. My cousin always says, who's like, we got into like our witchiness together. She always says, if you had any real superpower, it'd be the power of manifestation, because you can just like say something and it'll end up in your hand, your lap the next day.
That's when you have to be careful with.
100%. And so, yeah, that was, I would say, just working with the energies of Jupiter.
Nice.
Now, a follow-up question to that is, did you do any magic or ritual while you were in Fiji? I mean, how could you not? There's got to be times where you like walked away from the camera, walked away from the tribe. Did you do anything there?
So I was trying to just do very subtle things, because I think magic is not always like a big ritual or anything. Like I really use it like just practically in my day-to-day life. But something that was so important for me to do is like after we got back from every single challenge, I would go into the water by myself, because I always got a little nervous going away by myself, of having like that paranoia energy of like, oh, what's she up to? Mm-hmm. So I always wanted to be visible when I was doing this so I could have a clear conscience about it. But I would do basically a washing ritual, like a cleansing ritual with the, like, not only just cleaning myself, but like energetically with the water every single day, except for the day I got voted out. Except for the day I got voted out.
Oh, wow.
Ironic.
And I literally was kicking myself. I was like, I didn't go in the water. That's like, because it really helped me because I'm so just like, sensitive to other people. So really just going out there alone. I love the water. I'm such a fish. Going out there and just doing like a full body, just like, little Reiki over myself, just to clear my head, and like imagining the salt water, just like brushing away, like any like paranoia, or like getting my head and my body into the right space to like make decisions moving forward in tribal council.
I love that.
You also had to balance that with, you can't be away too long or people are going to get suspect. What's she conniving? Mm-hmm. There's that survivor element of that too.
Absolutely. Which is why I wanted to be visible. Like I went to the beach, like straight in front of everyone. Like I would wait for other people to get cleaned off and like leave and just have my alone time, because I needed alone time out there. And like, that was where I got it without having that lingering, what's she doing?
Right. Is she off looking for an idol in the in the jungle? Now, going along with that, I am not surprised that you needed a moment to center and to cleanse yourself, because you looked like you gave it your all. You looked like you loved every single second of that competition, and you were a joy to watch.
And we loved it.
You went fucking hard in those challenges. You were an amazing competitor. Just to see that spirit and how much joy you brought to those was wonderful. As someone who loves this game, to see how you grabbed onto that and went for it was beyond brilliant.
Phenomenal.
I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
My favorite competition, however, now I'm a competitive gal and I love to see you go hard, but my favorite competition was the old school Survivor auction. That one. Oh,
yeah.
You made me cry, woman. You bid on that beer and pretzels and you won that. And you said that was for your biological dad. And we learned about that side of you and that story. And I hope this is okay to talk about.
Absolutely.
I cried. Chelle cried when we watched it together. Because it was so touching to see that moment with you guys. And so what was that like for you to cheers your dad from there and to have that moment? Tell us about that.
Wow. Just seeing the beer, like knowing that I was in the mid-range of money. And so I really needed to act soon. So I had a vote. And so I was like, I don't care what it is. I'm throwing my money out there. It could be a bowl of worms, like really don't care. And then it being a beer. And I didn't really make the connection until I held the beer. And then I was just like, this is just like, it like literally just made me think of my dad. And he was such a driving force for me out there. He's super competitive, like didn't really get to watch me play sports growing up. So it really just like hit home. And I was just like, it took me by surprise. It really did, because I wasn't expecting like me holding a beer. I don't really drink that much anymore. Like I was drunk off. Oh my God, I was so drunk off that one beer. I was like, what? But yeah, that was such an incredible moment for me. And just to like share about that. And then like, obviously so many things happen. You don't know what's going to be shown on TV. And
Right.
so when that came up, my dad just like called me. He was like, sweetheart, that was perfect. Like, I love you so much. And like, just knowing that he's so competitive, such an athlete, like such a warrior spirit. And like, it was so, so special to like make that connection out there and just have it be really like authentic the way that story was brought up. You know what I mean? Like I was definitely just like really thinking about him, and I just wanted to make him proud. And I know no matter what I did would make him proud, but I wanted to win it for him. And like,
oh gosh, yeah.
For that like moment for him to have with me, because we haven't had a lot of big moments because we haven't known each other for so long.
That was a big moment. That was a moment that touched people. I mean, it touched us. I'm sure it touched a lot of people. That was such a cool moment to have with him, and to see your child as a Survivor fan, to see your child do that. How freaking cool. That was a fun moment to watch.
That's very cool.
So I'm glad to see it was equally cool.
Yeah, he was so stoked.
And I was stoked, I had a fangirl moment because I was like, oh my God, there's a picture of her and her dad from the Leaning Tower of Pizza. So I had a nostalgic Route 1 moment myself with it.
Yeah, that's where we met, actually. I met him at that Prince of Pizza when I was 18 years old.
Nice.
So
nice.
Anytime I go home, we always meet up at Prince of Pizza, and we each pretty much eat a whole pizza. And
nice.
And just always reminisce. So that's like our staple. Yeah.
That is very cool.
Nice.
All right. So now one last question about Survivor, and then I want to talk more about your travel and your tarot and astrology. And so my last question is, what moment stood out to you as like the moment where you were really like, holy shit, I'm on Survivor? Like, was there a moment that it really struck you that, wow, I'm here? Or was it just all like that?
Oh my gosh. I would say it's like all like that, but like that initial moment of like getting up on the barge and like going to the marooning, it's like so overwhelmed. And you'll hear like Survivor players talk about this. It's like that first moment where you're just met with like hundreds of cameras and you see the whole crew there and you're just like, this is actually happening. And like, then Jeff is talking, he's asking all these questions and you're just like, can you let me soak it in for a minute? Because like, this is like a lot, Jeff. I don't know if you know this. And
and it probably doesn't stop after that. It just keeps coming, I bet.
Yeah.
I need to know, is Jeff as cool in person as he is on TV?
He's so cool.
I love it.
He's also so intimidating. Like, oh, that I like call it. They didn't show.
I love it. I love it.
I was like, I don't know when your birthday is, but you're giving like full on Scorpio Jeff during like the end of like, how'd you know? And I was like, those piercing eyes, and you're just so like mysterious and like intense. It's just, if you're not a Scorpio, I quit astrology. It was so funny. And then he's like, I am. I was like, yeah, like, could smell you coming from a mile away.
That's why Jeff dubbed you the Survivor astrologer.
Yes. And he, I would say another moment that was just like so real. I mean, obviously your first tribal council, what? And then I would say like winning that first competition and getting back to a camp and actually, I didn't even get back to camp. I went to Lulu. But when you get back to camp, like when you're celebrating with your tribe for the first time and you like win and you're safe from tribal council. Oh, that's when it felt so real. Like I was just like, we're freaking doing it. Like me and Jake all the time would just be like, we're on Survivor. What is this? It was really like a 24/7, like, oh my gosh, like I cannot believe this is real.
So
and then also like,
awesome.
this is very real. And like, we gotta like, I gotta figure this out.
Yes. And
That's
you tried.
so awesome.
I loved seeing you try to bring the girl group together, to bring things together, and your ally got voted out. You tried. You played a really good game. I was very impressed. It was fun to watch. So
Thank you. Sometimes I don't feel like it's perceived like that because I am kind of like shown as this kooky character, but like I was playing hard. You know what I mean? Like I was trying my best to figure it out, and I was sending it full send for me.
Looked like you're enjoying every second. What we would all hope to do if we got so lucky to be survivors, just enjoy every freaking second.
Absolutely.
every single second, I did not have a moment of like not having a good time out there.
Even the bad times are kind of good. They're at least memorable.
Yeah.
Even I'm like, oh, this is bad on Survivor. Like nobody's calling me. I don't have to clock into work. This is great. So I was like, can I just stay here? Like, I'll just be the welcoming committee. Just give me some rice. Like, I'll be fine. Like, I'm fine.
I'd be down with that. I'd be down for that anytime. Anytime.
Now, after seeing your Instagram, I'm not surprised you say that.
Sign me up. Like, I was down to sleep on bamboo for longer. Just give me rice. I'm chill.
When I first saw you on Survivor, the second thing I said after I said she's a witch was, I would love to ask her to be on the podcast. And so I grew some balls and I looked you up and I found your Instagram and just fell in love with everything you were saying there, even more than I already was. And I just love your nomadic spirit. So I'm not surprised that you would be the Survivor Welcome Committee because you seem like you could be at home anywhere. That's what your website, Happy to Be Here, that's the whole vibe that gives, is you're very welcoming and opening to new challenges, and that you want to bring other people along on this beautiful adventure that you find yourself in. What a cool fucking concept and what an amazing vibe. So tell us a little bit about what you offer there and what you do.
Absolutely. Happy to Be Here is, oh my gosh, it's like years and years and years in the making. And I've just always struggled with like imposter syndrome. And Survivor was really like a catalyst for me to be like, nobody can say shit to me anymore. I was on Survivor, like literally like, leave me alone. I can do whatever I want to do in this life. And like, I've already always embodied that. But like, there's something about, I mean, I can see it in my birth chart. I know what's going on. But there's something about like being seen that is just such a core wound for me. Chiron and Leo in the 8th house. Hello. And I just have always had a lot of imposter syndrome about it. And Survivor, just like the confidence I got from that, and like just it being a catalyst for me to just be like, I'm just going to do what I'm here to do. And Happy to Be Here came from just something I would always say, like, even when shit was hard, like shit has been so hard. Gosh, like being a human is super, super difficult. And I would always just say, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just happy to be here. Like, I'm happy for the struggle. Like, I see how interconnected, like, the struggle is into my growth. I see how interconnected pain is to my joy. Like, I see all the pathways in which, like, everything can transmute and transform, and, like, everything is always changing, and that's beautiful.
Yes.
And so, Happy to Be Here, I felt like having that name as my business name was just, like, a tip of the hat to life's experiences, and like using tarot and using astrology and like my spiritual practices and my spiritual self has really just like grounded me into this daily gratitude and self-understanding and just getting to know myself and having that true north point within me, and just knowing that like life can suck, but I'm still happy to be here. And like, let's talk about the inherent struggles and like, let's use them to, feel them, like 100% feel them, but like also how can we transmute this, or what's the pattern happening here? And so, oh my gosh, my readings have been going so freaking amazing. I am like overflowing with just like feeling so fulfilled and feeling so in my purpose doing them, that I just, I want to help empower people to feel through the bad, like the hard and the bad things and all those things, but also it's like we all have a reason to be happy to be here, and like that reason can be ourselves. And like the more we learn about ourselves and the more we learn to love ourselves, and I use astrology as a tool for like, understanding and self-compassion and grace, and having grace for ourselves and trusting ourselves. And like the more integrated we are into our true selves, like the brighter we shine and the more we can see the good in the world around us. So just knowing ourselves helps us, go through this world a little bit easier. And it's not an easy thing to do, to know oneself, but it is an amazing journey.
It can be such a lifelong struggle for people, and you just glow and resonate with, like you said, true north. I can see that in you. I can see that star, and I can see you being a guide for people. So I think you have truly found your calling in this. And I'm just so excited for you and the blessings that you're bringing for other people with that. Now, as someone who has read tarot in the past and worked with people, I know that just like when you were on Survivor, finding those moments where you can ground yourself and cleanse yourself and kind of come back to that center are so important. Do you have any daily rituals or anything like that that you do for self-care with being such an out and open person?
Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time alone. I always am just, stretching, just being in my body. But I think a big part of like my daily ritual of like cleansing is just like sitting. Like lately, I used to have a lot of different like modalities and tools and like a strict schedule and routines that I did every day. But honestly, especially since living in the jungle now, like in my little freaking cabin, I just like taking a moment, watching the water, listening to the wind blow, and just like feeling deeper into nature, just being surrounded by nature really helps cleanse me. And like, yeah, I just spend a lot of time alone. I drink a lot of tea and I sit and I don't do anything. Like
There
that
you
is
go.
a lot of what brings me a lot of like cleansing and clarity. Just space, like having space for myself and just being super, super present in the moment, I think is something that instead of like worrying about this or thinking about a reading or whatever, it's just like, ooh, presence, stillness, breath, and appreciation has really just been like a very simple way for me to ground lately. And it's really great.
I think that is so beautiful. That's something that Chelle and I are big on is simple. You don't need to have elaborate at the right time or all the tools. Just like you said, being present in your body and acknowledging your breath and just being there in your own space can be such a powerful moment, such a powerful ritual for yourself.
Yeah,
It all can be fixed with a cup of tea, is what I always say.
that's what I say too. I drink so much tea. I'm just I'm mad for tea. I love it. It helps me ground and it soothes me. And, of course, like depends on what you put in your tea and just, yeah, tea ritual is definitely like a really big part of my day-to-day life. And I also think it's important to not, for anyone who's like, oh, I want to get more in touch with my spiritual side. I want to like get deeper into magic. It's like the magic in the mundane is such a big part of my life. And like just finding little things, it's just all about bringing intention to things. And like, it doesn't have to, I mean, sometimes I like to do a full ceremony, and something that's been really amazing medicine for me in the past month and through my life, but just like as a maybe weekly ritual is cacao and rose. So brewing a cup of cacao, it's just super heart opening, makes me, oh my gosh, cry every time I drink it. And it's just
I
such a
love
deep
that.
connection to Mother Nature and self-love and just opening up my heart and knowing that like our heart frequency, like I'm just surrounded by so much nature, and just like connecting with that has just been so, so vital for me. So I would say like my weekly ritual is like a mini cacao ceremony, sometimes in community, sometimes myself, depends on the week, but that's been such a big thing for me as far as like a medicine and a ritual that I've been doing lately. Yeah.
Now, other than the cacao and rose, are there any tea blends that you in particular like? Is there anything that's your go-to? Chelle's an Earl Grey girl.
I love Earl Grey. I'm just really into, there's a farm down the road that makes their homemade chai. So that has been like super just like warming for my system, because it's actually been kind of chilly here. Like, even though I'm in Hawaii, I'm like, why am I bundled up right now? Yeah, I love, love, love like a really good chai. Like cardamom is just one of, especially being like a pitta constitution in Ayurvedic medicine, like having cooling herbs is super important for my internal system. And so cardamom is just like my bestie. So like cardamom and rose tea is also another favorite. I usually do like cardamom rose, and then maybe like a little bit of like calendula in there, as like, or chamomile as a filler. But cardamom rose tea has been, I would say, my go-to. And you can drink it creamy, you can drink it black. It's like such another heart-opening thing. Heart-opening medicine that I love, 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 love. And it just gives me this like feeling of just like, it's almost like ethereal. Like I love rose. Rose is just, ooh,
Me
think like
too.
people are like roses are overrated. I'm like, roses don't get enough. Like, oh, it's
Thank
just
you.
the ultimate. It's so good.
Yes, I am the same.
And
I am
then
a big fan of rose hips in my tea and rose petals with my weed. It's some of my favorite ways to get in touch and
I
just
was just about
zen
to
out.
say rose, mullein, a little bit of yerba
Yes.
santa, and cannabis in a joint.
Hmm.
I've been really enjoying. I've been off the cannabis as of recently, like maybe like a week, just because I'm on my Neptune line in Hawaii here, and I'm already so
Ooh, so
heady, like,
right.
woo, all
Don't
the way
need to
up
get more
here.
there.
No, and I want to use it like here as a medicine for when I need
Hmm.
it.
Right.
So just changing up my relationship with it because I mean, I love cannabis like literally forever
Same.
and always. I was like, okay, we get beer on these rewards. Can I just get a doobie? Like,
Right?
God, y'all are driving me crazy.
I will live for the first time that happens. That would be so great.
That would be
I
so
better
great.
I better be there. And then
Right?
just like then bringing out like a tray of munchies, like that as a reward, just like here's a doobie between like pick two people to split it with. And like nobody from my oh, it would have been Caleb. It just would have been me and me, Caleb and Katora. Yeah. I've been like, y'all come with me.
I would have spent $900 on that reward. All $900 if that was the reward.
There you go.
I literally would have, yeah, if that was like an option at the auction, I would have been, oh God. And a lot of people don't smoke. So they would have been like, Kendra, you're coming
It's
with
all
us.
you.
Somebody's got to do it. I'd be like, somebody has to do it, y'all.
Yep, guess gotta be me. Oh well.
I got to take one for the team.
There you go.
That's like a dream. That's a survivor fantasy dream I have. Is just smoking a doobie out there.
My witch survivor dream came true in you, so maybe the cannabis one can come true at a later date. Hopefully,
Why
also with you
not?
on the show, right?
Oh my gosh. It's so crazy to think that like, I'm like, oh, I'm like, am I like a different prototype now?
Right. I hope there are many more. It's just phenomenal to see.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Thank you so much for being on, Kendra. This has
Guys.
been a blast. We'll have to have you on again sometime when Chelle doesn't have such bad phone problems.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. Because we
Yes.
absolutely adore you, Kendra.
I love y'all. And I started listening once you reached out. I was like, I love these. I started listening to the podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would just like love to hang out with them. So I am glad to come back anytime we could talk about all the witchy survivor things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before we let you go, why don't you let us know where people can find you, where they can find your readings and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram. That's like probably like where I'm most active. And like I actually go through my request messages sometimes. Like sometimes I'm sitting in line somewhere. Sometimes I'm sitting at the airport. A lot of times I'm sitting at the airport. So that's going to be at _ Kendra Ruthless. I also have my website, which is my baby. I've never made anything like that before. I'm like, oh, I'm a tech girl now. Literally had no clue what I'm doing.
Many hats.
That is going to be www.happy2be, just like the letter B, here.com. And I do handmade birth charts. Like I do hand painted birth charts on there. I do Zoom astrology readings, tarot readings. I have some really fun things that I'm going to be offering for the equinox coming up. So I just want people to stay tuned for that because I'm going to be doing like a big equinox, just like new offering and sale for basically that week only. So that's going to be coming out in a couple weeks to get people to start booking for that because, equinox, like I love it.
Good
so
energy.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those are like the two main platforms I'm on. And if you want to watch or read me talk some shit, you can follow me on Twitter at Kendra Ruthless because
Perfect.
Twitter is hilarious.
That's right.
I never even knew.
That's the best way to put it right now, I think. But we'll
Right?
put links to all the places that people can catch you in the show notes. So if anybody wants to, they'll be able to reach you that way.
And Layla and I are going to be manifesting that you get on Survivor All Stars next edition, just so you know.
Can we No, but for real though, because I have a lot of game left in me and I need to win an individual immunity necklace. Like it kills me that I did not win. Like, oh, it keeps me up at night still. So let's have a
We're
Kevin.
manifesting this for you, Kendra. We're totally manifesting Survivor All-Stars for you.
Yes.
Let's go, baby. I don't think I'm the top contender, but I think I'm in the running. So also, I just want to say, anytime I see BOTB, I'm like, bitches on the broomstick. It's hilarious. That's what my brain automatically does. And I was just like, yes.
That works too.
I love it.
Like, that's just what my brain automatically goes to. But y'all are amazing. I'm so grateful to have been here with y'all and talking to you and just connecting over witchy Survivor things. Like, it's so
fun. It's absolutely the best. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, Kendra.
And thank you so much for listening. And thank you so very much to Kendra for being here. And I apologize for all my fangirl moments. Can't help it. I love you, girl.
I don't apologize. What are you talking about? No, no apologies on my end.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not apologizing. I straight love her. But thank you so much for being on the show. And thank all of you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed hearing about Kendra's behind the scenes witchy times on Survivor and what she's up to now. And of course, tea, because we love that shit.
And also don't forget to check Kendra out on all of her socials. Check out her website, her Facebook, her Instagram. Layla will post links in the show notes. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram and our website, backonthebroomstick.com, Back on the Broomstick on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want, shoot us an email, backonthebroomstick@gmail.com. Like, share, star, heart, comment, do all the things.
We appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys. Stay wise, stay wicked.
Keep it witchy.